I'm gonna start this presentation. I want to send a message, specific message to the swimming community here in Spain. In the past 4 weeks, we lost 4 coaches. They've been fired from the job. Those coaches have been producing junior medalists at European Junior, world medalists at European world level. They put swimmers going into the Olympic team, including some of the swimmers swam this summer in Rio. Those guys, they're out of the job. And I think this talk as well is for them, to send them my support, tell them to keep fighting, to find a job, because the swimming community needs them. And also this message to the Federation, Consejo, Olympic Committee, President of the clubs here in Spain. This is very, very important situation. We cannot lose those people. If we lose those people because you get someone who has no experience, that you're going to pay less money, and you think they're going to deliver the same job, you're wrong. So this issue must be addressed somehow. Maybe this weekend at the conference. We have a conference in Madrid with the swimming association, Coaches Swimming Association. But yeah, that's it. Just this opportunity for me to talk about these guys. One of them has coached a guy who won 1 month ago the Paralympic gold. Anyway, we're going to talk about the altitude training. What I did is I took the season, this Olympic preparation, to show you really what we did in the past 12 months to prepare the swimmers to compete well in Rio, and in the case of Mira Belmonte to win gold in Rio. So 50 weeks of training, that's pretty much non-stop. We started on the 31st of August, and we went almost non-stop until the Olympics. We had a little break after the trials. Usually in swimming we do 3 cycles, September to Christmas, Christmas to the trials, and then from the trials to the main competition. This time we decided to do only 1 cycle leading into the trials, and then the final preparation of 18 weeks to get the guys ready to compete the best possible. In swimming we have a little issue. We struggle to get the swimmers to swim fast when it matters, which is at the end of the season. In Rio, for example, 33% of the female swimmers did the best time of the season in Rio, so then 1 out of 3 did the best time in Rio. For the boys it's about 47%, so 1 out of 2 swimmers compete better when it matters than at the trials. And if we look at the Spanish team, I believe only 2 swimmers made season best time in Rio, and the rest, about 21 of them, swam better at the trials. So my group, not only Mireia, but my group swam, we did 16 weeks of training in altitude this season. The first camp was here in Sierra Nevada, then we went to Pretoria after Christmas, just after Christmas. Then we went back to Sierra Nevada. We had a camp in May, just before the European long course in Font-Romeu in France. And then the last camp was here for a little bit more than 4 weeks to finalize the preparation before going to Rio. In the case of Mireia, she also in the car of, we have 2, the main training base for us is Sant Cugat, the training center in Sant Cugat. It's also called CAR. And the second home, like Mireia say, it's here in Sierra Nevada. So when we are in home in Sant Cugat, she has an altitude tent, and she used that for about 9 weeks in between the training camps that we did this year. And it's something that I want to mention, but I'm not going to go into details because it's too long. It's this morning I heard Carmen, the doctor, talking about how long do you stay in altitude, how long you have to go down. I'm sure all of you heard about 21 days, going down 21 days before the competition. Well, we did a lot of different testing on this, and apparently the the short tape, for me, that's what actually works better, and also going down from altitude to the competition, close to the competition, as close as possible. For us, it's been between 6 and 9 days. You can actually see a video where Mireia breaks a world record going down 6 days before doing the world record from here. And we trained this summer with a Japanese team who did 5 weeks here before going directly from Sierra Nevada to Rio. And then the year before the World Champs in Kazan, they went 6 days before the day 1 of the competition from here to Kazan. That's the plan. So I mentioned that we did 2 cycles. This is just the calendar really of the second cycle. So you see where we are in Sant Cugat, Dakar, 1 competition in Madrid. Then we went to the training camp in altitude in France. We went pretty much directly to race without rest at the European long course in London. Then we went back home. We had a series of competition, including an open water race, a 10K. We tried to, I'm coaching some open water swimmers as well. In the case of Mireia, she tried to make it, but she didn't qualify. Then we went to Sierra Nevada, went back home we went from Sierra Nevada to race nationals, 4 days competition, then back home for about a week, and then we went to Rio. The stage camp was actually in Rio, in a club called Fluminense, a football club, with a very nice pool. So we had the luxury to go direct to Rio, train there for about 5 days, and then move into the village. Here in Sierra Nevada, this is actually the work of Blanca and Javi. It's not mine, but I just want to explain a little bit more into details what we do when we train here in Sierra Nevada. So in my computer, it's nicer than this, but I don't know why it's only black and white. Just a typical week of training. And then just before the Olympics, this is what we did in terms of the running stations. So we had three different stations. One was running directly up, one was running up and down, and then one was actually driving. We had a special pass to go almost to the top of the mountain and do about 55 to an hour of running at 3,200 meters. That's just the typology of the run. So you see the up and down when we go straight up, and then when we go to higher altitude. We use the possibilities that we have here to do some racing as well. So this year, I think Mireia plus 2 swimmers went to participate in the trials in Monterrica. There's 2 swimmers, so that's about, I think this year they said it's 11 kilometers, but the swimmer was saying it's about 13. We also did we did a vertical kilometer, so you start on the place just down here, and then you go straight up for 1 kilometer. This is actually my 3rd one with the swimmers, and this year I was last, but I still made it. And one video that I'm going to show you after, I'm going to show you Mireia running and the guys running from almost here, the next parking up to the top of the Veleta. And this is something that I'm going to explain later, but it's something very important for us. We had 4 years before the Olympic Games, and every year they went running a little bit higher and higher and higher. And the last one, which we did the last day of the camp, was to run up to the Veleta, and was something pretty special for us. Obviously in terms of training, but more in terms of mentality, knowing that you've been running, you made it to the top before you go to the Olympics. It's quite special. When we train here in Sierra Nevada, what we try to do is to measure everything that we do in the gym. So we use, I guess you saw the smart coach system. We use this. We have a circuit where every repetition we're going to measure, we're going to analyze everything, and we're going to try to individualize, make each session specific to each swim. So again, in my computer it's blue and red is nicer, but it doesn't matter. If you understand well, you can see that we did the running, the cardio before swimming. It's because in Rio the swimming, the timing were later, so we had late heats in the morning, starting at 1, and then the finals starting at 10 in the evening. So we had to do the land walk here before. Usually when we are back home in the car, we do swim first, and then we do the land walk. So every time we arrive, the first session is to do some testing. So we test the swimmers. We have like a specific test, some specific tests that we do. So we know where we are in terms of the strength, and then from that test we create and design the training protocol. So usually I speak with Ravi and Blanca, and I tell them this is what I want, and according to the test of each swimmer we adapt repetition, we adapt weight, etc., etc. That's just the last testing that we did before we left to go to Rio with Mireia. In terms of a maximum strength, just an example. The swimmers get involved in the session, so they arrive, we don't do for them, they have to use the computer, they have to set up the session and be involved in that monitoring system. So here, for example, the last camp that we did for 4 weeks, this is the specific session that we did in terms of strength, 12 sessions, a total of 288 sets and 2,800 whatever repetition. It's quite boring, but the good thing about this is you can really target what you want to do, and you can be specific on your work, and you don't make mistakes. Very good explanation. This is from Ravi, why we do this, to assess on a daily basis what we want. So it's very important in coaching that what you're going to offer, either in the water or in the gym, is in reality with the state of fatigue of your swimmer. So you can make a lot of mistakes, and because you're going to do this assessment, you're going to really translate to a proper effective training session. Objective and individuals, so each swimmer has his own program. We try to focus on speed. Motivation in strength, that's also challenging for the guys to compete against each other. They compete against the machine because they see live what they do, so every repetition they see what they are. You're going to see on the video that it's pretty sweet. We kind of invented like a swim bench where they see themselves how fast they go, how many repetitions they go. It's almost like swimming on the bench, and that's something that in the water you don't see, so it's quite interesting in the gym. Something very important has been, again, you're going to see some videos, but probably one of the keys of the success of Mireia is the training session that we do 3 times per week, where we actually focus on land and water exercises, and we try to give and provide the swimmers with a maximum of feedback. So that's what we do. We have different stations in the swimming pool. So for example, you can see the guy who's watching the screen. Usually Blanca controls that station. So either we work on starts or turns underwater, then they see themselves, there is an immediate feedback. And then there's also the support and the feedback from the biomechanic. The work that we do, and the key to the success of Mireia is the work of the underwater phase. So we have different stations with resistance, video, different machines. And it's something that we still work on, and a little, not secret, but close to be secret, that we did with Javi and Blanca is the analysis of the underwater movement. So yeah, you can take some photo, no problem, because you don't know what this means. But basically what we tried, in America it's called the fifth stroke, and this is something that here in Europe, more specifically here in Spain, we are not very good at underwater, so we decided to invest in this, knowing that it's one of the strengths of Mireia, and we created a system with a pulley create some resistance with fin, without fins, different kind of weight, and we still work on that more, Blanca and Ravi, and hopefully we're gonna come up with a model. Just an example of what you get after a training session. Okay, you can see here, no kilo, no fins, no kilo, fins, and then we start to put some weight, and then see how the swimmer reacts. Here, down in Granada, there's also a university, and something for me that I really want to mention because it's very important for my work is I work with a biomechanic called Raoul, and what we did in 2012, we kind of not invented, but we did some what we call pre-analysis. So usually Raoul is back home watching on TV, and he sent me on the phone or on email some datas after the heat in the morning. So that's an example of, I could show you if you want, I can give you more, but the example of Mireia. So after the heat, he does the analysis, and he also does the analysis of all the swimmers that are gonna make the top 16. So from that analysis of 16 swimmers, then I get some data, some statistics, and I can prepare with Mireia the way she's gonna have to swim in the semi-final. And then after the semi-final, we do again. So this is after the semi-final, and then we do analysis. The top 8 swimmers are gonna make the final, and then from this analysis, I can also prepare the final with Mireia. So in the case of the turner butterfly, I use that model the next day when we went to train. We were just training, and we look at the data, and we try to go into the final to have less chance or less surprises. So we know how the Japanese is going to swim. We know at the last 25 she's going to be strong. We know that the Australian is going to start fast. That probably Mireia is going to catch up just before the last turn, etc., etc. So it gives us and gives especially the swimmer a lot of information, and give a lot of, I guess, trust into the building of that final. So hopefully this is going to work. Just to show you what it looks like in reality. So that's the swim bench that I mentioned. Okay. Just some different exercises. So you can see that the swimmers see themselves and see the live results. That's the model that we try to, we still investigate. So a lot of work with resistance, power rack. That's an invention of the car. So they made a really nice system. Sometimes we put the strength platform to analyze what strength the swimmers do. Feedback with the computer. I have no idea what it means, but it's nice, green and yellow, and this is before the World Champs short course in 2014. So again, we did that 3 times per week, and then that's when Mireia went to break the world record just after this training camp. Also some static work, just like a normal rope. Work on power. Same swimming. And then the last video, which has been a very important moment for us in terms of the Olympic preparation, the famous run up to the top. Thank you, Ravi, for all of this. And then thank you. I don't know where's Ravi. I can't see him. He's gone. Without you, this will not happen. Mireia, she will not have a gold medal, and I will not be here speaking today. So thank you. Me as a coach, I like the science, and of course, because I'm a swimming coach, I know pretty much nothing about the science. But what I know is that it's important. So I try to always look for possibilities, and I think with these people, again, Blanca, Javi, a lot of them, including Raoul, which is very interesting, is to use the science and try to apply the science to what we do on a daily basis. And I still believe that there is a big gap between the science and between the reality of coaching on a daily basis. But it looks like every day there is more tools. The smart coach, when it does work, it's very interesting. And then this sort of informations, the analysis of the evolution of the start of Mireia. For example, Mireia in 2012, a reaction of the block was 0.8. And when you lose to a Chinese by 0.1, you get a little bit upset. So you work on your start. And we see, for example, with this analysis that now our average reaction is 0.6. The problem is people are improving as well. So the Australian girl, the Japanese girl, they're on about 0.4 faster than Mireia. So we still need to investigate, and we still need to not only improve what we do ourselves, but look at what the rest of the world is doing. This is like pretty much live, so from the video at the Olympics, analysis of a reaction, and then you get some feedback. Me, the coach, I use it or I don't use it, then you need to know if it's the right moment or not the right moment to do it, but at least you get some information, live information, in order to help you out over the 8 days competition. This slide is in Spanish, but again, it's more like a sort of a common feedback about the reaction time. I will translate in English if you want. Something to talk about, maybe thinking about the future. Again, this is a swimming pool down in Granada, 25-meter swimming pool. And I know Carmen, the doctor, talked about the high-low training. Here, it's probably one of the only places that I know where you can drive 40 minutes and train in a 25-meter pool, or in the summer in a 50-meter pool, outdoor. And we actually did that before the Olympics in 2012, and this time we didn't do it for various reasons. But we have this facility to be able to train either here or down in Granada, sleep in Granada, come up here. There's a lot of possibilities. And this new system, when it's going to be ready, is going to be quite interesting to pretty much have a live training analysis, not just get analysis after a competition, but also for during training. So remember I mentioned that we went to different places. This is a place in South Africa, in Pretoria, where we went after Christmas. The main reason was to be training in a sort of low altitude. I think it's about 1,500 meters. I'm not sure exactly. That's what they say there, but I think it's a little bit less. And to be able to train outdoor in January. So here in the winter it's quite cold, even in Barcelona. So for us it was good to go out 3 weeks, get a bit of sun, be in a big campus. It's all green, it's a lot of nature. It was really nice, very relaxing. And I put two photos of the meals. The food is just amazing. Everything they eat is fresh. You don't need the lion, you see the lion, but so that's about some information about Pretoria. Altitude, it's a university campus, so it's very busy, a lot of different sports. rugby, for example, track and field. They're very good on distance running. So you live, you breathe sport. There's no distraction. The pool is 12 lane, 50-meter pool, so it's quite amazing to have that amount of space. There is no video system, so it's an old pool. All you can do is swim, which is pretty good, but in terms of biomechanic work, you can't do much. The gym, world-class gym, there's a spinning room. There's actually 2 spinning rooms with world-class material. Track and field, there is a grass track, which is quite good for the swimmers to go and run on the grass and not run on on hard ground. The recovery center, it's not the same as Former here. It's a little bit old, and you got to put your ice in the bath and do it yourself, but it's still okay. And there's quite a big medical and physio department just nearby. So everything is like here on one side. You live, you eat, you train in the same place. There's no need to move. In terms of the rooms, either you are in a dorm, so you have to share with 3 or 4 swimmers, which is not as comfortable as the individual room, but the cost is it's quite high. Again, because there it's the summer, it's about light, about 5 o'clock in the morning, so you have to adapt yourself to the way they live there. If you go with your Spanish timing, you're gonna struggle. Sometimes it's noisy because there's a lot of students on site. And again, the fact to be outdoor in January, get a bit of sun, it's been quite good for us. For I guess this is more familiar to you. For us, it's about an hour, 45 minutes drive from Sant Cugat, so it's nearby. There is a special relationship between Forum and Sant Cugat, so we go there. It's a little bit easier for us to go up there. They can come down, so we make some exchange for them to swim at sea level, and for us to be at 1850 meters. And the good thing about Forum, when you have the right snow, you can do some cross-country skiing. Here we ski. My swimmers, they do ski, but it's not very good in terms of the cross-country skiing, which is a shame because cross-country skiing and swimming, it's pretty amazing the 2 sports combined together. So the altitude, 1850 meters. It's actually a national training center. In France, you have 2 national training centers, one in altitude, this one in Forum, and the INSEP in Paris. You have a nice school, you have university, you have ski teams. It's very busy place. The pool is like this one, 6 lane, 50-meter pool. They also have another pool next to the 50-meter, which is a 25-meter pool, 4 lanes. At the moment, there is no video analysis. You can do your own analysis if you want, but you need to sort yourself out. The gym is a little bit limited. In the summer, you can do a lot of things outside, run in the forest. You go out from the center, and there's a huge amount of tracks if you want to go and run, do some biking. There's also like a track, and I think this summer, pretty much everybody that went to the Olympics went to train there before Rio. This year they had a new recovery center with sauna, cold, bath, hot. It's a little bit small, but it's new, which is a good input for them. Lifestyle is also quite interesting because this center is a little bit outside of the village of Forum, but at least if you want to go out from the training center, you got a bit of life, so you can go do some shopping, you can have a coffee, there's a cinema, there's little shops, which here it's not the case. You can sometimes feel a little bit isolated. The rooms, the reputation of the room in Forum, it's the same, like you touch the wall like this, that's no joke. You can wash your hand like this. If you want to have a shower and go to the bathroom at the same time, you can. So it's small, but some of the swimmers actually like it because you feel cozy, you feel warm, and also you're alone. So swimmers, like in the case of Mireia, she's 25, she needs a privacy, and she really enjoys going to Forum as well. There's physio and medical center on site. It's not big as a medical center, so it's limited. You cannot do a lot of testing, but at least there is access to that. And for me, one of the problems is the food. It's not as good as Sierra Nevada, and I guess because they have to do a lot of meals because there's many students. Next, Sierra Nevada, of course, because I got invited, I'm going to tell you it's the best center here. No, it's a joke, but we come here a lot. Number one, obviously, the altitude. That's obvious that it's a lot higher than Fort-Romeu or Pretoria or different training centers. Even Flagstaff thinks 2,000, Colorado Springs probably 2,000 or 1,800, I can't remember. So that's, to me, very important. Again, you can see different sport, like you can mix with different athletes. We do some skiing. One of the problems, for example, that you don't have in Fort-Romeu or Pretoria, there's no education, so it's probably the main reason why there's no swimming team here all year round. And we actually work on that. Maybe in the future we're going to have a base here. The pool that you saw, 50 meters, 6 lanes, the whole video system, which actually is getting a little bit old, but I think in the future it's going to be a brand new one. And the gym, pretty amazing gym. There's actually more than one gym. You can use 2 different gyms, so it's very flexible to do your strength work. And then what you saw before in the videos, the biomechanic lab, that's where we do the weight session with the monitoring, and then also all the biomechanic work that you can do on a daily basis. And I think this feedback is phenomenal. And that's probably also why Sierra Nevada, to me, is the best altitude training center, is the facility that you can have to work with professionals. And I put on the side medicine, physiotherapy, biomechanics, strength conditioning, physiology, nutrition. You can do a lot of testing. If you want to do a blood analysis, you can. There's a lot of things that you can do with a lot of flexibility. The meals, the food is a lot better than about 10 years ago here in Sierra Nevada. They've done a really tremendous work on nutrition. If you have some specific needs, you can ask them, and they always tell you yes, which is very good. And then what I mentioned about going down to Grenada and train low level, it's very positive. And the rooms, it's clean every day. They change your room, and it's something very nice. In Fort-Romeu, if you go for 2 weeks, you sleep in the same bed for 2 weeks. All these training centers I've been myself as a coach. In St. Cugat, we use also some altitude house. That's how we call it. So you can reproduce the altitude being at a more or less sea level training center. Colorado Springs, I think, and probably, I don't know if there's some American coaches here, but I believe during the Olympic year it's closed to foreign countries. It's only for American to prepare the Olympics. That's something that we discussed here. Obviously, in terms of the cost, it's difficult to close it just for the 5 swimmers of Fred's group. But maybe in the future we're going to have more Spanish swimmers attending during the Olympic preparation and have more flexibility to be just us here. Flagstaff is a little bit like the Fort-Romeu of America. It's more like a village. You have more activities, more life. It's actually a really nice training facility. L'Alpe d'Huez is a 25-meter pool, but it's very good to do short camps, like you mentioned this morning, Carmen, like 1 week, 2 weeks. There's one place in Morocco which is really nice training facilities, and then this place is Aspire, which is I think a few years ago they started the altitude houses, and then also the institute in Canberra. We use that since actually many years. And then here, I don't know if you're aware, but in Sierra Nevada they have a specific programs. So it's related with the animals. Maybe you're gonna see some weird animals, but please don't kill them. That's the sort of thing that you can meet. So that's when you walk in the morning to go to the gym. You see this one? We still don't know what's that. And then the spider, that's the spider that is actually just behind the computer of Blanca at the pool, which is bigger than my hand. now you're in the desk of Alfonso. And that's pretty much it. And before I finish, this thank you is not, it's my thank you to a lot of people. The car in Sant Cugat, because I think the training facility that we have, the base that we have is phenomenal. And also a big thank you to everybody here in Sierra Nevada for not just the professionality of people, but for the access that we have on a daily basis. Pretty much all I do is complain, and pretty much all they do is actually help me to solve my problems. And I can guarantee that it's not the case in many training centers. So thank you to everybody. If you have questions.
Yes. Later we give you your money.
Yes.
Okay. Right. Questions? I begin one question. You were talking about several centers around the world. What do you need to be comfortable in one center? What do you think is the most 3-4 topics most important? Sorry. Okay. I want to ask you, please, Fred. You were talking about different centers around the world, and we would like to know what do you think is the most 3-4 topics most important for training to be comfortable there?
I think the first one is to know that you're going to achieve your objective. So if you come to altitude, you come for a reason. To know that you're going to have the space to train, you're going to have the time that you require to achieve your training sessions. To know that if you need some support to recover, you're going to get that. And then obviously the environment that you have on a daily basis. The less stress you have on a daily basis, the better to be productive in your training.
Please, Tracy, one second.